right, hello boys and girls, moms and dads, thanks for joining me today. This is Mr. Lam from Heroes Mom School Academy. We are going to be walking through math tutorials, okay? And I am going to be trying to share with you certain tips, certain tools, and potentially additional resources that you can use to homeschool your second grader and your third grader. And what I have on the board written here are certain learning expectations. Okay, certain learning expectations for a second grader and certain learning expectations for a third grader as well. Okay, and our learning expectations are actually based on TEKS, which is Texas Essentials Knowledge and Skills, because we live in the state of Texas in the United States. And we adapted just a few critical concepts that you want to get your second grader to be well apprised of so that they can start to build their math skills. If you want a comprehensive list of learning expectations, please feel free to go to homeschool.heroesmart.com or heroesmart.com/school. You go to that website. You click on the menu over there, you're going to see elementary, and then you click on second grade. You are going to see a whole lot of learning expectations for a second grader. You do the same thing for your third grader. You go to that website, you click on the menu. You are going to see elementary, and then you are going to see third grade. When you click on it, you are going to see a ton of things that you can teach your child in third grade mathematics. So thank you for joining me today. We are going to be walking through for second grade. For the first half hour, we're going to be walking through how to read and write up until 999. Essentially, how to read and write up until about 1,000. Okay, we're going to be talking about the concept of 3-digit place values, which is HTU place value. We're going to be talking about that, just building in a spiral fashion. What we started with kindergarten and first grade. Then we're going to try to do addition and subtraction at that level. We're going to be talking about fractions and then the basics of algebra in second grade. Then the rest of the session, the second part of the 1 hour session, we're going to be trying to read and write up until 999,999, essentially up to about 1,000,000. And we're going to be talking about 6-digit place values, proper and improper fractions, and then we're going to be talking about the concept of inverse relationships and building our algebra skills a little bit in third grade. All right, so let's try to get started with it. So we are going to be talking about how to teach a child how to read and how to write up until 999. Okay, so how do we do that? So you can start teaching your child how to count by 100s, just to start with. So you're going to say, let's count from 0 to 100. Okay, 100, 200. All right, 300. All right, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, and potentially 1,000. All right. So you can teach a child to count just by 100 to start with. And then you are going to teach the child right now, if this board is kind of too small for me, you're going to say, well, we're going to start a count from, let's say, 100 up until 200. So the whole idea of trying to teach them how to count right now is to count by, let's say, tens, okay? So they can identify patterns. So you're going to say after 100, there comes 110, 120, 130, 140, okay? 150, 160, 170, 180, 190, and 200. So we counted by tens right now from 100 to 200. Okay, you can use that to teach the child. Just get a sheet of paper, or if you have a board like this, you teach them how to count firstly by hundreds. Okay, so that's what we did on this board over here. And then We get another board or a sheet of paper and teach them how to count by tens. Okay, teach them how to count by tens. Then you want to teach them how to count by ones right now. So we're going to teach them how to count by ones so they can identify a pattern. Okay, the whole idea is to identify a pattern. So let's say we want to count by ones starting from 900 to 1000. Okay, so you're going to teach them how to count firstly by tens. Okay, we can start from there. You can say, well, 910, 920, 930, 940, 950, 960, 970, 980, 990, and then 1000. Okay, so you can teach them how to count by tens starting from 900 over there. All right, so let's teach them how to count by ones starting from 990. Okay, so we're gonna try to count by ones starting from 990 up until 1000. Okay, so they can identify a pattern. Once they identify patterns, then they can count by themselves, just like that. So you can tell them 991, 992, 993, 994, 995, 996, 997, 998, 999, and then 1000. Okay, so that's how you can potentially help a child to count from 0 to 1000. Start counting by 100s. What do we do? I'm going to write it down again for you. Okay. So what do we do over there? What's the exercise? So we counted by hundreds to start with. That's what we did firstly over here on the board. So count by hundreds. Okay, we counted by hundreds. Then we counted by tens. Then we counted by ones, okay? And then you can count from 100 to 200. You can count from 200 to 300. You want to make sure you do that up until you get to 900, and then count to 1000, just like that. And then when you want to start counting by tens, you can do like count from 900 to 920 or something like that. You can do that too, you know, to 990, if you will. You can do that. So use different counting schedules, counting patterns to get your child to understand how to count from 0 to 999. So a second grader should be comfortable counting to 1000, essentially. That's what we're trying to say over there. By the time you count to 999, the child should be asking you, then, what comes after 999? You're going to tell them 1000. And nothing stops you after they get to 1000. You want to stretch it just a little bit. You want to start counting by thousands right now. You can tell them, well, after 1000, there's going to come 2000. So you can tell them 1000, 2000, 3000, 4000, and it goes on and on and on like that. And they may want to ask you, why are you putting this comma over here? Well, we're putting the comma over here so that we can know our thousands. So you're going to tell them, you're going to count from the right, 3 digits from the right, 1, 2, 3, then put your comma over there. That's how you're going to separate your digits over there. So a quick little way to teach a child how to count from 0 to 1000. Count by 100s, count by tens, count by ones, and do it multiple times over. You can count forward, you can count backwards until they are very comfortable counting the numbers by themselves. All right, now let's go over and talk about HTUs, which are going to be 3-digit place values. So remember, from first grade, we started talking about place values. Now we're going to be talking about 3-digit place values. All right. So what that means, we are going to be playing around with numbers that have 3 digits to them. So numbers like 4 or 5, 6, 7. Well, that's a 3-digit number, right? You can tell the child over there. It's a 3-digit number. Why? Because he has 3 digits in it. The first digit is 5, the second digit is 6, and then this one is 7. It is called 567. And you can write it down for the child. 500 and 6, 7. 6, 7. Okay. So what's the difference between 675 and 567? Well, there's a 5 here, there's a 6 here, there's a 7. Okay, so all these digits are present in both numbers. But what is the difference? The difference is going to be the arrangement of the digits, right? So 5 occurs, the first occupies the first place in this number. Then digit number 6 occupies the second place in this number. And digit number 7 occupies the third place in this number. But over here in this number, digit number 6 occupies the first place over there. And digit number 7 occupies the second place. Digit number 5 occupies the third place in that category. To start to get the child to appreciate that the place, the location of your digits inside numbers is very important. And that's the reason they created the concept of place values. All right. So if we want to arrange these two numbers in terms of place values, what do? Well, starting from first grade, you remember the first place value, the first column is going to be called the units column. And in our case, it's going to be like a 7, for example, right? So if we want to arrange a number like 587, okay, hundreds. So this is 587, just like that. All right. So the 7 is going to be in the units column. The 8 is going to be in the tens column. And then the 5 is going to be in the hundreds category. And of course, you're welcome to tell them that what's the meaning of that units column over there? Well, the meaning of the units column is that you are going to be counting by ones, okay? So I'm counting my sticks in terms of ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. So there are ones over there. Then what's the meaning of this 8 over here? This 8 means that I am counting by tens right now. I'm counting in increments of tens. So I can say 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. Okay, so there are 8 tens in this category. So I'm counting by tens, and that's going to be equivalent to, this is going to be equivalent to 8, 80. All right, 8 tens, which is 8 multiplied by 10 is equivalent to 80. And then here, this is going to be equivalent to just number 7 for me. And then what about this one? Well, here in this category, I am counting by hundreds. So I have 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. So this is going to be equivalent to 500 for me. So what we've done is we've decomposed the number 587 down to place value equivalents over there. The 5 represents 500 here. The 8 represents number 80. And then the 7 is going to represent just 7 over there. So that's a cool way that you can teach a child the place values at a 3-digit level for a second grader. Teach them that, well, numbers are going to be made of digits. All our digits are going to always be from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, and 9. There are 10 digits that we use to form our numbers in mathematics, okay? So you can see this 5 came from here, this 8 came from over there, and this 7 came from over there. Just a different combination of all these numbers can all these digits, these are called digits, okay? So digits, okay? So all these digits, you can put them together in different combinations to form different kinds of numbers, okay? So that's what this is trying to tell us over there. So you can use that to teach a child about 3 digits place values. All right. So what about if we want to say we want to add 587 together with another number like 100 and let's say 112, for example, or maybe 212. Let's try that. 212. So talking about how to do addition and subtraction with 3-digit numbers. Well, we know the place values of 587 from the previous example. So what about 212? Well, you're going to start from here. The 2 over here is going to occupy the units column. It means you're counting by ones, 1 and 2. And then the 1 over here is going to occupy the tens column. And then the 2 over here is going to occupy the hundreds column. And you're going to put your addition sign over there and underline your line. Rule a line under. Then you're going to ask yourself, starting from the right, you start the addition exercise from the right. You're going to say, what is 7 plus 2? All right. So from first grade, you know how to do your additions already. You're going to count 7 sticks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right, you count 2 sticks on top of that. 1, 2. And when you count it all together, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You are going to have 9. Okay, so 7 plus 2 is going to be equivalent to 9. Okay, then you're going to ask yourself, what is 8 plus 1? Well, do the same logic. 8 sticks, 8 fingers together with 1 finger. Well, that's going to give you 9. You can use that to help the child to come to terms on how to do additions over there. 8 plus 1 is going to be equivalent to 9. Then what about 5 plus 2? Well, 5 plus 2, 5 fingers plus 2 fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. That's going to be 7. So you can use that to teach them on how to do 3-digit additions properly. 587 plus 212 will be equivalent to 799. Okay, so what about subtraction? So what about if we wanted to subtract 587 or 212 from 587? How do we do that? Well, it's going to follow a similar logic as well. So you are going to arrange your numbers in terms of place values, referencing the place value tables, right? 587 minus 212. What are we going to do? You're going to start from the right. You're going to ask yourself, what is 7? Take away 2. In other words, 7 minus 2. Well, you can tell them, well, put 7 fingers up for me. So these are 7 fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So these are 7 fingers. Now take away 2 fingers. All right, collapse 2 fingers like that. How many fingers do you have left? Tell them to count with you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, we're keeping it simple. So 7 minus 2 is going to be equivalent to 5. All right. Then you're going to tell them what is 8 minus 1. Well, do the finger exercise again. So we got 8 fingers over here. So that's 8 fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have 8 fingers over here. Take away 1. All right, I'm taking away 1 finger. All right, how many fingers do I have left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I've got 7 fingers left right now. All right, so 7 fingers left over there. Then what about 5 minus 2? All right, 5 fingers, take away 2. All right, collapse 2 fingers. How many do I have? I got 3 left. All right, so I got 3 left, so that's going to be 375. So really, really great way to teach 3-digit place values and addition at 3-digit levels, subtraction at 3-digit levels as well. All right. So let's talk about fractions real quickly. So we started talking about fractions in first grade. So we're going to build on that understanding right now to add fractions together. All right. So we know that a fraction is going to look like 1 divided by 2, which is half. What about if we have another fraction like half, like this over here? So you're going to tell them, if you see two fractions like this that have the same denominator, this is called the denominator, we talked about that before. This is denominator, okay. So if the denominator is the same, then you can simply add both fractions together by drawing a line like that. Put the denominator under the line, and then you're going to say this is 1 plus 1. Okay? Which is going to be equivalent to 2 divided by 2. Now, 2 divided by 2 is going to be equivalent to 1. Now, they're going to ask you, how do you do that? Well, you're going to tell them, well, if we have a circle, all right, we have two circles, okay, you can do this, all right, so if we have two circles, what this is telling us is I got two circles here, and then out of two circles, how can I split these two circles, this box that has two circles, into two equal halves? So I split the circle into two equal halves, into two parts. What am I going to have? I'm going to have one circle here and one circle here. Well, that's what this is telling us to do over there. You can use that to explain to them how to add fractions together, especially fractions that have the same denominators. All right, let's try another one. So what about if we have another fraction like this? We have 2 divided by 3. All right, let's try this one. 1 divided by 3 plus 1 divided by 3. All right. Well, these fractions have the same denominator as well. You can see this one has a 3, this one has a 3, so that makes it real easy for us. So we can do 3 over here, okay? And then you're going to say this is 1 plus 1. So 1 plus 1 is going to be equivalent to 2, and that is 2/3. That is 2 divided by 3. So that's another way that you can teach fractions over there for them. All right, so let's talk real quickly about the basics of algebra. Okay, so the basics of algebra. Well, algebra is all about trying to add numbers to one side of the equal symbol, and then making sure that we can find those numbers on the other side, or the equivalent value of the numbers on the left side. So what am I talking about? So algebra is all about making sure that the numbers over here, the value of the numbers over here, is exactly the value of the numbers over there. That's what algebra is trying to tell you. So if you have, for example, 2 plus 3 on this side, and then you have something here called 4 plus, all right, 4 plus blank, so to say. What is blank? Oh, well, I know this symbol over here is equal to, and what the symbol is telling me is the left side must be equal in value to the right side. That's what the symbol is telling me over there. So I know the left side is going to be equivalent to 5 because I said 2 plus 3 over here, 2 fingers, 3 fingers. Put it together. Well, that's going to be 5. It's going to be equivalent to 4 plus blank. What is this blank? Well, if I have 4 fingers, how many more fingers do I have to add to 4 fingers so I can get 5? Oh, that's going to be another way to explain it, right? 4, I got 1 more finger. So Mr. Blank over here is going to be 1, right? So 2 plus 3 will be equivalent to 4 plus 1. Guess what? That's what algebra is. Now, instead of writing blanks over here, they could have written for me 2 plus 3 will be equivalent to 4 plus A. Okay, so the word A over there, the letter A is just telling me there is an unknown. There is a number that I do not know called an unknown. So I know this number, it is 4. I know this number, it is 3. I know this number, it is 2. But I do not know this number. Rather than call me just blank over there, I'm going to call it just an unknown number. And I'm going to use the letter A to represent the unknown number. And that's going to be A. Well, guess what? I'm going to say 2 plus 3 equals 5, which is going to be equivalent to 4 plus A. All right? And you can use the finger demonstration to tell them your A is going to be equivalent to 1. Or you can say A is going to be equivalent to 5 minus 4, which is going to be equivalent to 1. All right. So that's a couple of ways that you can teach your child about the basics of algebra over there. Okay. So just a quick recap. So we talked about how to read and how to write numbers from 0 to 999. We talked about 3-digit place values. We talked about addition and subtraction of 3 digits from 0 to 999. We talked about the basics of fraction, how to do fractional additions and subtraction, especially like fractions or fractions that have the same denominator. We talked about that. And then the basics of algebra over there. So that's going to be a couple of tips over you for your second grader. We have additional resources on our website. So if you go to homeschool.heroesmart.com, you are going to see a full year curriculum for second grade mathematics. It is available for purchase either for download or the paperback copy of it. It's going to be available on that website. You click on homeschool.heroesmart.com. You can get these resources for your child. And this particular workbook comes with 180 free videos. All right, so you get to watch videos on all these concepts. And it covers the learning expectations, even way beyond what I talked about right now. So you're going to see a ton of learning expectations over there on the website for your child. Please make sure you take advantage of that. And in addition to that, you can go ahead and sign up on that website for additional tools. There are additional tools like a structured timetable experience for your child. There is the examination tool. There is the analytics tool over there for your child. There is the library tools and a ton of resources. When you go to that website, homeschool.heroesmart.com, and you go ahead and you sign up for your child. All right, so let's go ahead right now and talk about third grade. So in third grade, the child is going to be expected to be able to write and read numbers up until 999,999. Okay, so we're talking about being able to count up until 999,999. In other words, you're just going to be counting straight to 1 million. You've got to be able to do that. Well, how would you help your child to count up to 1 million out of third grade? Well, you can start counting by 100,000s to start with. Okay, so you can say this is going to be 100,000. Okay, you tell the child that. This is 200,000. Okay, tell the child that as well. This is 300,000. Okay, this is 400,000. Okay, now this is going to be 500,000. And then 600,000. And then 700,000. And 800,000. And then 900,000. And then 1 million. Okay, so this is 1 million. All right, so you can teach them so they can actually get started. They can understand patterns. They can start to identify patterns by learning how to count by 100,000s. Okay, 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, 400,000, 500,000, 600,000, 700,000, 800,000, 900,000, and 1 million. Then you want to help them right now to count by 10,000s. So you're going to say, okay, we're going to count by 10,000s right now. We're going to count by 10,000s. from 100,000 to potentially maybe 200,000. So you can say 100,000. We're going to count to 200,000. And we're going to count by 10,000s. Well, how do we do that? We're going to say this is 110,000. Okay? You're going to say 120,000. You're going to say 130,000. And then you're going to say this is 140,000. This is 150,000. And then 160,000. 170,000. Okay? 180,000. 190,000. And 200,000. Okay? So when you get a chance to count using different increments like this, it gives them an opportunity to see patterns. Okay? So they get to see this pattern over here. Oh, I know. So 110,000 is going to look just like this. 120,000 is going to look just like this. 130,000 is going to look just like this. 140,000. And they see that pattern over there. So they can be very comfortable to count from 200,000 to 300,000 by themselves. They can count from 400,000 to 500,000 by themselves. And then on and on and on and on and on. It goes up until 900,000 and even potentially 1 million. Then, so we've counted by 10,000 right now. So let's try to teach the child how to count by thousands up until they get to 1 million. All right. So we can say, well, so assuming you know how to count from 990,000. Okay, 990,000. We're going to count from 990,000 to 1 million. Okay, 1 million. So this is called 1 million over there. Well, how do we do that? Let's try to count by 1,000. Okay, so we're going to count by 1,000 and say the next number is going to be 991,000. Okay, we're going to teach them that so they can identify patterns. Okay, 992,000. Okay, 993,000. Okay, 994,000. Okay, these are the large numbers right now, the third grade level. 995,000. Okay, then 996,000. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. 997,000. 998,000. 999,000. And then 1 million. Okay. So you've taught them how to count by 1,000s right now. And they can see the pattern. So you understand when I'm counting by thousands, by just 1,000, the number that's going to be changing is going to be this digits over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then when it changes over here, I get to 1 million. Try to help them to see that pattern. Okay. So they get to see that pattern over there. And then they can count by ones. You teach them, well, let's try to count by ones so you can see that 999,999. Okay. So how do we count by ones to get to this number? Say, well, we're going to count from 999,990 up until we get to 999,999. Okay. All right. So how do we do this? We're going to count by ones. So this is going to be 999,991, 999,992. Okay. 999,993. Okay. 999,994. Okay. 999,995. Okay. Then 999,996. Okay. 999,997. Okay. 999,998. And guess what? 999,999. Okay? And then right after that, that's going to be 1 million. Okay, 1 million. Use different techniques to teach the child how to count. Count by thousands, count by 10,000s. Actually, start counting by 100,000s. Then count by 10,000s. Then count by thousands. Then you can count by ones, so you can count by hundreds and by tens. And once they see the pattern, they can count by themselves as well. All right, so let's try to write some of these numbers out in words. Okay, so we started writing numbers in words starting from first grade. So this is third grade right now. So let us try to write a 6-digit number out in words. Okay. 6-digit number out in words. Let's see, we're gonna write it out. Okay. Okay. So let's look at this number, 542,864. Well, you're gonna say, well, let's break this down into place values to start with. Okay. So you know right now from your place values, actually, yeah, let's do this. So this is gonna be in the units place, 542,864. Let's do this. 542,864. All right. So what column is this one going to represent? That's going to be the units column, right? Starting from second grade and first grade, they know that already. So this is the units column. Now what's this column? This is the tens column. We talked about that before. Well, this is going to be the hundreds column. Okay? This is going to be the thousands column. This is the tens of thousands column. Okay, this is the thousands column, like that. And then this is going to be the hundreds of thousands column. Well, what this means is I am counting by ones. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so I have 4 over here. The 6 over here means I am counting by tens. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So this is going to represent a 60. Okay, this represents just a 4 for me. Okay, now this one means I am counting by 100s. Okay, tell them that. So let the child start to appreciate what you talked about before with regards to getting well versed with trying to count by 100s. So this 8 over here means I am counting by 100. Okay, by 100. So it's going to be 100. 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800. So I am counting by hundreds, and this is going to be equivalent to 800s. Well, what about the 2 over here? Well, guess what? This 2 means I am counting by the thousands right now. So I am counting by 1,000 and 2,000. Okay, so I got 2,000 over here. Counted by 2,000, counted by 1,000, and that's 2,000 for me. Well, what about this place? Well, in the tens of thousands category, I am counting by tens of thousands right now. So that's going to be 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, and 40,000. Okay, so I'm counting 40 by 10,000s to get 4, so that's 40,000 for me. What about this one? Now, in the hundreds of thousands category, I am counting by 100,000s right now. So that's going to be 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, 400,000, and 500,000. So this one is going to be 500,000. So we have decomposed the number 542,864 564 into place values, okay? And then if you want to write this number out in words, you're going to tell them, well, you're going to start with the left. So this is 500. You're going to say 500,000, okay? We're going to spell it out in words in just a little bit. Now, this is 40,000, okay? Now, this is 2,000. This is how you spell out 2,000. Okay, so that's 2,000 for me. Now, this is 800. Okay. 800. This is 60. And then this is 4. All right. So let us try to pronounce this word together. 500,000. And 40,000. And 2,000. And 800. And 60 and 4. Well, to shorten our breath a little bit, we can group all the thousands together and say 542,000. That's why I can call this one 542,000. Why? Because I understand from a decomposition perspective what these digits actually represent for me. So 542,000, 800, and then 64. Okay, so that's how you can teach the child how to spell out their numbers. Break it down into place values for them to start with. Let them see the different components, the different values of the digits and the numbers, and then write it out in words, and then they can start to spell it out by themselves. Okay, so this is 542,864. All right, so let's talk about how to do additions in 6 digits real quickly. So let us assume that we want to add this number together with another number, like let's say 2, 4, 3, 1, 2, 3. So guess what this number is? This is 321,342. We want to add that together with 542,864. Well, what are we going to do? Well, the addition exercise is going to start from the right, just like we did with second grade addition over there. So you're going to ask yourself, what is 4 plus 2? 4 fingers, put 2 fingers together. Well, that's going to be 6. All right. Well, let's make this easy. We're not gonna do the carry. Well, let's do the carry over, because you gotta start learning how to do that. Now, what is 6 plus 4? Well, 6 plus 4 is going to be 6 fingers. 6 fingers plus 4 fingers. Well, that's going to give me 10 fingers. Well, you got to tell them, well, you cannot write 10 just like this, because this is a single column. So you're going to write your 0 here, and then the 1 you're going to transfer to the other column. You're going to put it right over there, just like that. Now you're going to say, what is 1 plus 8 plus 3? That is 1 plus 8 plus 3. Well, 1 plus 8, that's going to be 9. 9 plus 3 is going to be 12 for you. So, well, that's a 2-digit number as well. So we cannot write 12 over here just by itself. We're going to write 2, and then we're going to carry the 1 over here. So you're going to say, what is 1 plus 2 plus 3? Well, that's going to be 4. And you're going to say, what is 4 plus 2? That's going to be a 6. What is 5 plus 3? That's going to be an 8. So 542,864 plus 321,342 will be equivalent to 864,206. It's just as simple as that. So you can use that to teach them how to do 6-digit addition. All right, so what about if we want to do a subtraction right now? So we want to say these two numbers, we're going to do subtractions with them. I'm going to change this over here to minus. So in other words, we want to do 542,864 minus 321,342. How do we do that? You're going to ask yourself, what is 4 minus 2? So that's 4, take away 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, take away 2. You're going to have 2 sticks left for you. All right. And you're going to ask yourself, what is 6? Take away 4. All right. 6 fingers. 6 fingers like this, take away 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 2 fingers left. All right. So that's 2 fingers. All right. What about 8 minus 3? 8 minus 3 is going to be 5. What about 2 minus 1? That's going to be 1. What about 4 minus 2? That is going to be 2. What about 5 minus 3? That's going to be 2 as well. So the answer is going to be 221,522. Okay. So that's going to be a little simple way to teach how to do addition and subtraction at the 6-digit place value level. All right. So let's talk about the concept of proper fractions and improper fractions. All right, we started talking about fractions from first grade actually, but there are different types of fractions. All right. So a proper fraction is going to be a fraction in which the numerator is less than the denominator. Numerator less than denominator. Okay. You want to make sure they remember what a numerator is and what a denominator is. A numerator is going to be the top number of the fraction. The denominator is going to be the bottom number of the fraction. So when the numerator is less than the denominator, you have a proper fraction. So this is going to be an example of a proper fraction. 1 divided by 2. 1 divided by 2, which is half, is a proper fraction because the numerator is less than the denominator. Another proper fraction is going to be 3 divided by 4. In other words, 3/4. Well, the numerator 3 is less than the denominator 4. So 3 is less than 4. So that's a proper fraction. 1 is less than 2. So that's a proper fraction as well. You can use that to describe what a proper fraction is for them. Okay. What about an improper fraction? So an improper fraction is going to be a fraction in which the numerator is greater than the denominator. An example of an improper fraction will be 3 divided by 2. Well, over here we can see the numerator is 3, so 3, and the denominator is 2. 3 is greater than 2. Well, in what situation is this fraction going to be like this? Well, the situation with this fraction is going to be like this is if you have, like this, a rectangle. You divide this rectangle into 3 equal parts. So this is going to be, let's try to divide this rectangle into 3 parts. Okay. So there's 1 part, 2 parts, and 3 parts. Okay. And then you want to divide another rectangle like this into 2 parts. So there's 1 part and 2 parts. Now, if you want to have a whole rectangle, 1 plus another half of the rectangle, you are going to take 3 parts like this, and then 1 part from here, which is 1 out of 2, and then 3 parts out of 3 parts, or which is going to be equivalent to just 1. Well, that's a situation in which we're going to have something like 3 divided by 2 over here. It is an improper fraction because the numerator is greater than the denominator. You can use that to teach them how it is going to be an improper fraction. All right, so let's look at another concept that is going to be pretty important. They call it inverse relationships. It forms the basis for algebra and manipulation in algebra. So you remember from the other time we talked about 2 plus 3 will be equivalent to 4 plus a. And of course, it's pretty easy to see from logic that 2 plus 3 is going to be equivalent to 5. And then what do I need to add to a to add to 4 to give me 5? Well, that's going to be 1. But how did they get that actually? Well, they got that from the concept of inverse relationships. Now, we know 2 plus 3 is going to be equivalent to 5, and that's 5 is going to be equivalent to 4 plus a right now. Well, an inverse relationship is going to be the opposite of that relationship. So you want to say, what is the inverse of 5? Well, the inverse of an additional number is going to be a subtraction. The inverse of addition is subtraction, just to put it that way. Well, the inverse of multiplication is going to be division. All right, so we call this addition, okay? And this is subtraction. And this is multiplication. Okay, so this is multiplication. And this is going to be division. Okay, all right. So you're going to use the inverse of addition as a subtraction to solve a problem like this. So you're going to ask yourself, what is the inverse of positive 5? Well, the inverse of positive 5 is going to be negative 5. So you're going to say this is 5 minus 5 is going to be equivalent to 4 plus a minus 5. All right. So we are going to group the known numbers together. 4 minus 5. All right. All right. So let's say, so this is going to be equivalent to 5 minus 5 is going to be equivalent to 0, and which is going to be equivalent to 4 minus 5 plus 8. Now, we want to make sure that we transfer the numbers over here so we can leave a just standing by itself. And another thing to remember, when you transfer numbers over here, the sign in front of the number is going to change. So you're going to have, this one is going to change from 5, okay, minus 4. So 4 is going to become minus 4 right now. And then you have your a. Okay, so you can say 5 minus 4, which is going to be equivalent to 1, and a is going to be equivalent to 1. So that's a little way that you can use the knowledge of inverse relationships to solve algebraic problems. So they call these problems, this kind of problems, algebraic problems. All right, so 2 plus 3 equals 4 plus a, and I know that my a is going to be equivalent to 1. All right, so that's a couple of tips for you. So please go ahead and take advantage of this tools over here. And if you want additional information, there is a full year curriculum. 3rd grade mathematics full year curriculum, which is available for purchase on that website, herosmart.com/school or homeschool.herosmart.com. You can actually purchase from that website over there. You can purchase downloadable copies of this workbook or paperback copies of this workbook from that website. You are going to see that over there. And in addition to the workbooks, there is a tool on the website that we call the HHA portal that you can actually use to still teach your children mathematics. You can log onto that website and sign up for free. You can sign up for free on that website over there, and you're going to have access to a structured homeschooling experience. Literally, it's going to be very structured for you. You're going to have a timetable, exactly what your child needs to learn for every day for 180 days of mathematics. It's going to be from that website. You can have an examination module over there. You're going to have a structured way to organize all your books. It's called the library. You're going to have for you as well analytics tools. So there are lots of tools that are free on that website to make homeschooling absolutely a doable experience for you. All right. So please try to take advantage of that. And I want to thank you for joining me. So we talked about 2nd grade learning expectations, 3rd grade learning expectations. In 2nd grade, your 2nd graders should be able to count up until 1,000. They should be able to do addition and subtraction of 3-digit numbers. They should understand the basics of fractions a little bit, understand the basics of algebra. Then building on that foundation, you're going to be talking about helping the child to count up until 1 million, which is literally 999,999. How do you do that? You teach them how to count by 100,000s to start with. Teach them how to count by 10,000s. Teach them how to count by thousands. Teach them how to count by hundreds, and then by tens, and potentially by ones as well. And you can break it down into those little chunks over there so they can see a pattern. Once they see a pattern, then they can count by themselves, because it's going to follow the same logic as well. Then you can break down the numbers into 6-digit place values for them. You are going to decompose into units and tens and hundreds and thousands and tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, and potentially even 1 million. By the time they get to 4th grade, they should be very comfortable right now. Their numbers in the millions. Then you're going to be talking about the concept of proper fractions and improper fractions. Talk about the concept of inverse relationships. How you can use inverse relationships to solve algebraic problems. And there is a ton of learning expectations that you can actually gain access to for free. You want to create your own curriculum, you're welcome to do that as well. You can go to this website, click on the menu over there, and then you are going to see elementary. Click on elementary, and then click on 2nd grade. You can click on 2nd grade over there. You are going to see learning expectations for 2nd grade. And then do the same thing for your 3rd grader. Click on 3rd grade from the website. You are going to see learning expectations for a 3rd grader. Put all those learning expectations together for yourself, and you can build your own curriculum free of charge if you want to do that. Or if you need additional tools over there, you just go ahead and you download the workbook from the website, the PDF version of it, downloadable PDF version of it, and then you can build your own curriculum. Well, if you say, well, I don't want to build my own curriculum, well, you can go ahead and purchase a paper copy of it from our website. Lots of ways that we are trying to help parents to homeschool their children right from Heroes School Academy. All right. Did you get something from it? Hopefully he was a blessing to you. I want to thank you for joining me today. Remember, God cares about you, and so do we. Bye-bye.